Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ibukun. On this channel, I share about law and law-related matters. I'm sure you're going to find some tips and information that are very useful to you. So why don't you consider joining the family by hitting that red subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you get notified every time I drop a video. Today's exciting episode is going to be a review of the Men's Club series, which is a Nigerian series airing here on YouTube by Red TV. So you can go check it out if you haven't seen it before. The last episode, which is in season 3, had scenes that had to do with the police and the police station and an arrest, and so I thought I'd give a lawyer's perspective and review of that. So this is real lawyer reacting to the Men's Club series.
Hello, gentlemen. Mr. Man, wake up. Are you Louis Okafor?
Who are you guys and what's going on here?
You're under arrest.
Excuse you?
Yeah, get up. Mr. Man, stand up. Now, move it.
Could you not raise your voice?
Get up. Stand up, stand. Yeah, move. Move it.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
now,
move it.
Look.
Move.
Okay, see, could you
Move.
Wow, so Louis gets arrested in this scene, and we're going to be dissecting whether this arrest was properly conducted. You should know that the 1999 Constitution, the Police Act, the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, and the Criminal Procedure Act regulate how an arrest should be properly done. Now, under these laws, the first thing you should know is that a police officer can arrest, so they do have a right to arrest a suspect or a defendant. And a warrant of arrest will be issued before a person is arrested. So you don't just willy-nilly walk into people's houses or walk on the street and arrest. The Administration of Criminal Justice Act, in section 18, scenarios where you can arrest without a warrant. This is also provided for under the Police Act and Criminal Procedure Act. First thing is that I don't see Louis falling under any of those categories, unless they are saying, you know, that he's someone that is a deserter from the army, or that they suspect him of going to commit a crime. There will usually be a complaint laid, or the police will be investigating an issue, and then there will be the need to arrest the suspect to further their cause and getting answers to questions that the police would have in order to ensure that if a crime has been committed, then there is redress to that crime. However, here we don't see any of that happening. The next thing I see is that the police officers just hit him. This isn't something that is proper, okay? The law says that you can touch a person if you want to arrest, but you don't always have to. You should speak to them. They're supposed to communicate with him. This is who we are. This is why we are here. Excuse me, people, did we see them telling us what he has done and why they want to arrest him? You walk into a person's house and you just want to pick him up. This is illegal. Illegal arrest is what is just happening in this scene. Louis can go to court and sue the police because I don't know what they are doing. The next thing is that when you want to conduct an arrest, you should inform the person you want to arrest. That is, the police officers should inform the person they want to arrest of the reason for the arrest. You have a right to know why you're being arrested. So if there isn't going to be a warrant showed to you because it falls under one of the categories where an arrest can be made without a warrant, the next thing is you have to inform the person being arrested why they are being arrested. You also need to inform that person, so important, that they have a right to be silent, they have a right to contact their lawyer, and they have a right to inform another person that they're being arrested. They also need to say that this person, if they cannot afford a lawyer, has the right to legal aid. Lawyers, excuse us. Which of this have you seen happen in this scene? I mean, I know that in reality, this is probably a very accurate depiction of how arrests are made, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a laid out legal procedure for conducting arrests.
Where's my husband? Where's my husband? Where are you hiding him?
Do you know where you are?
Crazy, you actually sick. What nonsense?
Don't mind her, she's just very upset. I understand what's going on. Please, please. Make it look like say we fight, we flex, and just Just hold something, eh? Just hold on.
Sorry, we don't take bribes.
I know, that's fine. This is not a bribe. That's just an apology. Eh? Just hold on.
So,
Correct. Eh?
so what do we have to do?
They will only let his lawyer say.
Man, I hear you're a lawyer.
Well, sometimes.
Please, can you be a lawyer today so we can see Louis, please? Please.
Well, I can try.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Can I see my client, please?
Which of the clients?
Louis Sokafo.
Okay, only you can see him.
That's fine. No. That's fine.
Please, can I see him too?
After shouting on
Please, no, please. Sorry, please.
It's okay. It's okay.
Please, let me do it.
It's okay. I'll go in. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Where are they?
Inside. Okay.
I just decided to turn here and then like shout.
See, we just saw a few things jump out at me. First of all is that, look, the police has a duty, a responsibility to inform your relative or your next of kin that you have been arrested. It is a responsibility that they have. It is at their own expense and costs. Yes, you're looking at me. I know that's not what they do in practice sometimes, but this is the law. We are a law-abiding country. So the fact that you were arrested does not mean that your rights are taken away from you, okay? The police should have called his wife or his next of kin or his family member. You don't just lock a person up and leave them there. And now the friends have come and they want to have access to Louis. But the thing is, you have a right to see your lawyer, as they've said, and you have a right to see your family members. They may limit the number of people that you can see at a time, but they're not supposed to be denied access to people who are going to help you get bail or get your defense. This is not at all the way that the process is supposed to go in a proper sense, following the law. We're going to ignore that no bribe was given because these are public servants, these are public officers, and it is a crime to give bribe or to receive bribe as a public officer. So we're going to ignore that, like it's not part of what we're talking about here. Now, the funny thing that is there is when you say, oh, I hear you're a lawyer, and you say sometimes. That's hilarious because I know that a lot of people want to study law because of this. They're like, I know the law, I can get my friends off the hook, I can get myself off the hook. But the thing is, I guess when she says sometimes, it means she's not in full-time practice. And for really, technical issues, you might want to consider getting someone who has some experience. Although this is also appropriate because what was most important at this time was that they got access. But like I said, even if a family member of a friend went there, as long as it's the person's next of kin or relative, you have the right to access the person that has been arrested. However, I won't say that you should go to a police station and say, if Bukun told you that, I understand that in practice, the most important thing is to ensure that the arrested person gets out on bail or at least is charged to court. And so usually there's so much tension and the police have a lot of power. So most people would just go with the flow and be as calm as possible with them, just like these people have done, just to ensure that they are on the police's good side. I've experienced this in my practice where I wasn't granted access to a client. So I understand that practice may be a little different from what the law books say, but I also owe you a duty to tell you this is what the law says, and so that you would know that you have rights. We're going to get into what you can do when things don't go as it should. Also important to note is that the person that is arrested must be taken to a police station immediately or to a holding center by the authority that is arresting, because not only police officers arrest, there are other bodies that are empowered to conduct arrests, but you must be taken to a facility that is designated for that purpose. If for some reason you were not informed immediately you were arrested of the reason you were being arrested, by the time you get to the station, you should be informed of why you are there or the place they're going to detain you. This is important because this doesn't happen. I know it doesn't happen, but people need to know that these are things that you may get redress for under the law when the police doesn't grant you this right that you have by law. look, the Constitution of Nigeria, the highest law in the land, says that you have a right to liberty, says that you have a right to privacy, says that you have a right to dignity. Okay? And once you bring these rights together, it means that you cannot just arrest me anyhow. You cannot hit me, beat me, handcuff me. Because they handcuffed him in the scene with the police officers, and you don't have to use handcuffs. Handcuffs come in when it is in the person's interest, or there's a court order that says they should be handcuffed, or the police think that this person is going to escape. Please, did Louis give them any reason to handcuff him? No, he did not. But we see that this thing is happening, and we see that these things happen. We just willingly handcuff people. But there's a law that says that you shouldn't use handcuffs on a person unless it is necessary. And these necessary scenarios I have just said.
Oh, wait. Who did this to my client?
He did that to himself. He did it to himself.
Of course. Can you at least excuse us?
Ma, there's no time. Do quick.
How are you?
I'm good. Lola,
She's outside. What happened?
they just arrested me and they haven't even charged me with anything.
So you have no idea who did this? Who's behind it all?
It's probably my ex or my mom, or both of them. Honestly, I don't know.
We need to do something about them.
What am I going to do? My mom cut me off and my ex wants my house. The both of them always just want something from me, but they never care about what I actually want. And now this.
Okay, look, I'm gonna do everything I can to get you out, but right after that, you have to sit down with your mother.
I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm going to do that. But especially if she's the one that did this.
Okay, we're gonna try and get you out today. I believe Aminu is out there too, trying to work something out. Yeah? Just take it easy.
Hello, ma. No holding hands here, please. There's no holding hands. Time up, sir. Let's go.
Just tell Lola I love her.
She knows. But I'll remind her.
Just calm down.
Take it easy.
So here we see Lola's mom acting as Louis's lawyer, and you should know that you have lawyer-client privilege created once this is done. And so the things that she tells him or he tells her are now privileged communication. She cannot go ahead and tell other people. However, the first thing we see is that Louis has been beating. Who is beating up somebody in jail? Did we not just say that you have to treat people with dignity? The law says in the Administration of Criminal Justice Act that you have to ensure that this person that has been arrested is treated humanely. This person isn't subject to torture. Beating is part of torture. Degrading treatment is giving someone a black eye who did not have a black eye before you brought him to prison or to detention. So I don't understand why this is improper. The police has a duty to ensure the safety of the people in their custody, and getting a black eye while in custody is not anything that is allowed under the law. You have a right to be told why you are being arrested. So if the procedure was that you are being investigated for a crime and the police has brought you in based on that, they will tell you that this is the crime you have committed. Number two, if there was a complaint laid by somebody else, so somebody else is accusing you of a crime, they will tell you the crime, they will show you the complaint and tell you that this is what has been charged against you. So just keeping a person in detention is not allowed. And for God's sake, you can only be arrested for a crime. You cannot be arrested for civil wrong. So your mother is angry with you, your girlfriend is angry with you. Those are not crimes under Nigerian law. There may be civil responsibility or liability there. Go to a court of law and get your day in court. But you cannot arrest a person for something that is not a crime under Nigerian law. This is something that happens again in practice. I am aware that this is the reality sometimes, but it is not, it does not make it right, okay? So know your rights. I want you to know, I'm using this opportunity to kind of tell you what your rights are. I'm not saying, I did not tell you to go and misbehave in a police station, okay? Because sometimes you get your lawyer is all set up. I've done that before. Yeah, there. This is my client's rights. My client has a right to, when they are done with you, you would not find it funny. Also, when you're arrested, within 24 hours, you have to be charged to court. Otherwise, you have to be granted bail. Sometimes it's 48 hours, depending on the proximity of the court to the police station. Between 24 hours and 48 hours, you have to be charged to court. Or the police has to grant you bail, because the police has power to grant bail. So it's not, like I said, if they had informed, upon arrest, if they had informed somebody related to Lewis that he was arrested, that person would have taken steps to get him out on bail. Just because you were arrested does not mean that you're a criminal. You are innocent until you're proven guilty. And even if you are guilty, you still have a right to bail. And so this is something that we haven't heard about or seen happening. But the next steps should be how to get the person arrested out. And that is your right. Bail is your right. It doesn't always seem that way. And the police sometimes will charge you money. They're not supposed to. What happens is you can be released on a bond and a recognizance, or they'll try to bring sureties and you have money. The money is to secure that you come back. So the money is not money that is supposed to be for the police, which is what sometimes happens in practice. But then again, when these things come up, what I realize happens with a lot of people is that they just want it resolved. And so nobody's going to be thinking of, I want to sue the police. The police is being sued every day. Damages is being awarded against them every day. Some of them are changing, some of them are not. But we're hopeful for the best, and we're just going to keep informing ourselves and others of the things that are our right, and hope that one day we actually see it enforced in real life.
Okay.
Is he hurt?
He's
Is
fine.
he fine? Mommy, what on earth is he here for?
He's fine. Listen, I demand that you release my client. I mean, you haven't charged him with any crime, and somebody hit him. That's unacceptable.
Hit? Who hit him? No, who hit him? Stop it! What is wrong with you guys?
Please take her to the car. Take her to the car.
What? You're very stupid, all of you! You hit him!
Oh my goodness.
So, is he okay?
He's fine, but I think this has to do with his mother.
His mother? No. Based on my findings, I think it goes way beyond her.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm sure it's going to be out before sunset. This must be some under-table dealings.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
My father's going to make some calls, and hopefully something good will come out of it. But could you please make sure she gets home safe?
Absolutely. Okay, I'll see you guys
Thank you
later.
very much. Thank you. So what next? Well, we wait for my father to do what he can. But he'll be out. I believe it. I believe it.
What?
What is that?
What?
Tiara. I left my card with her.
So?
What means to she spent 765,000 naira?
So?
In how many hours? Let me know when something happens with him.
Why are you getting paranoid?
Special loving.
Thank you so much for letting
The situation where the police have refused to do their job properly by granting bail within 24 hours as the Administration of Criminal Justice Act provides, then you or your lawyer should immediately go to a magistrate court and apply for bail, or notify the magistrate court that you have a person in detention and the police have not granted bail and it has been more than 24 hours. The magistrates will usually then call for the defendant to be brought to court, and you can then make an application for bail when that is done. So magistrates have the power to regulate the police and ensure that they do what they're supposed to do, at least under this act. Okay, so be sure to look into this and ensure that your lawyer gets the person out on bail, which is why sometimes you might need someone with a little experience in criminal law. Although that doesn't always solve your problem, we have high-profile cases that I'm sure you've heard about that don't play out exactly as it should. Arrests and police matters can be very dicey and tricky, but still, this is important information that you should have and by the end you would know what you can do if you're looking for redress, you know, if any of these rights you have been breached. Another thing I find sad and, you know, makes the law quite tricky in practice is that now you're saying that, oh, this is a politically motivated arrest, I'm going to have to call my father who has connections. Citizens have a right. They have rights. See, the Constitution has fundamental human rights in Chapter 4, and there are laws that protect the citizens of Nigeria. We should not need to have connections to get us out of jail. This is very sad and sometimes true, but if somebody arrests you wrongfully, you have a right to apply to a court and get redress. And if, of course, you have connections, I'm not saying don't use your connections, I'm just saying that there are a lot more people who don't have connections, and so relying on connections to always get a person that is illegally arrested off the hook is not something that is going to help any citizen of Nigeria. And so
Guy, how far?
Oh. Well, he said that it's coming out in a bit.
Oh, thank God.
Yep.
Have you called Lola?
Yeah, I did. You know what my father said?
What did he say?
It was probably done by a politician.
A politician?
Yeah.
What's Luis's business with a politician?
I don't know. All I can think of now is Tonye's father. He's a politician. So maybe it was Tonye that actually did all this.
That makes so much sense
Yeah.
now, especially since they haven't charged him.
Yep.
Wow.
I bet she knows that mommy is not protecting him anymore, so she's just trying to rattle his cage.
That's serious, so. So this thing happened months ago now.
Really? She's still hurt, and we understand why she's hurt now.
Yeah, I understand it, but I don't get it.
Oh, no more family protection, so she's just shooting her shot. She's just
Wow.
shooting-
Hey,
what's going on, bro?
G. Sugar daddy. Poppy lolly. I'm saying little vex.
Hey, look at you.
Hey!
Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you? Oh, you look a mess, man. But I guess they couldn't wipe the smile off your face.
They can try.
I'm so glad you're alive, man.
Yeah, I'm say you know, find your girlfriend side so well, have you?
It just me and my smart mouth.
That always puts you in trouble every single time when we've told you.
Where's the laugh, eh?
Well, we had to send her home.
Yo, she threatened to kill a policeman. Bruh.
I was so shocked. Like she was crazy.
No.
I wish I could show you how much you mean to me, but you couldn't understand how that you're the only one I'd want to take through life with me. Wish I could.
Hashtag Team Tumini. Tumini is back, guys. I'm so excited. If you're not a TMC fan, you can't understand. So let me just calm down. This is not why we're here. Don't get distracted. Ibukun, focus there. Excuse my outburst. Lewis has been released, and the things to note are that usually when you're taken to a police detention or any other detention center, your personal effects will be taken from you. You will be formally recorded and registered as having been brought in, and in a proper and right scenario, there will be a charge against you. There will be the reason why you're there. There will be an interrogation. There will be a few steps. The police is supposed to try to take your statement as to what your response is to the charge against you. But none of this obviously was done because no charge was preferred. You just kept him in the police cell. So I'm very happy they were able to get him out, and on the next day, it's not clear if it was on bail or on connection. Steps you should take when the police infringe on your right to liberty, or when a person takes you to a police detention center for something that is not a crime under Nigerian law. Section 46 of the 1999 Constitution provides for fundamental human rights enforcement. And so you can go before a high court in your state and file an enforcement on fundamental human rights application, and this will be a way for you to enforce your right. Also, section 35 subsection 6 of the 1999 Constitution says that where a person has been wrongfully arrested, that person will be entitled to compensation and a public apology from the appropriate authority. Okay, so you're entitled to what? Compensation and a public apology by the police where they are the ones who wrongfully arrested you. So don't be shy to get a lawyer to enforce your rights. And I hope that you stay safe. There are things that you shouldn't do when you're confronted with an arrest. Don't get aggressive. Don't touch a police officer. Don't try to harm a police officer. That is also against the law. Cooperate with the arresting officer, and hopefully you can get justice afterwards. The challenge always is that this legal system is slow, and so delayed justice sometimes can seem like denied justice. But if you get your claim before an appropriate court, you can get money, you can get an apology. So don't let nobody intimidate you. I hope this video has been helpful. It got a little intense there, but hey, Tumini is back and I'm excited. If you did enjoy this review, do give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos also, and I'll see you in my next video.